Hello, Harrisburg School District. We are broadcasting from Harrisburg High School, John Harris campus, where I am joined with Mr. Kalonji Johnson, Policy Director for the Pennsylvania State Department.
Yes.
Tell us about your visit here with our students and what you're speaking with them about today.
Sure. So we partnered up with Inspire US, which is a nonprofit organization, to encourage and promote civic engagement among our youth. So my role today was simply to come out, inform, and educate all of the eligible seniors here at Harrisburg High that they have resources and they have support to help get them involved and to help promote civic engagement, and also to answer any questions that they may have about the voting process, since they are first-time voters.
How important is it for us to educate and engage and empower some of our youngest up-and-coming voters in this process?
Sure. Well, I think you said it all. Empowering them through empowering their voices is probably the most important thing that we can do. Giving them the information and trusting them to use that information responsibly. That's what any adult can impart upon a young person. So it's encouraging. It's heartening for me to see all of the participation.
In a continuation of our conversation about the importance of voter registration, tell us about the online toolkit and the resources that are available for students and residents to register.
Sure. So if students or residents, if they go to votespa.com, they have the opportunity to download what's called an online toolkit. It's essentially a PDF format file, which will give them some visual representations and visual instructions and cues on our most basic voting resources. So everything from when do I vote, where do I vote, what do I need to bring, all of the rules and requirements are there in one centralized location. So I would implore everybody to go to votespa.com, look at the resources, download a toolkit, and just get informed.
All right, so as we close out this segment here, let's talk about the importance of educating, equipping, and empowering some of our youngest voters, up-and-coming voters, in the voting process.
Sure. So that one's kind of a no-brainer. We all have a legacy to leave, and I think empowering our youth to voice their opinions, to get involved, and to build their communities should be everybody's legacy. Voting is the universal way to do that, and it's a right. It's really a privilege that people in a lot of other places don't get to enjoy. So here, where we do have that right, it's important to make sure that everybody understands that they need to exercise that right for it to be heard.
Wow, fantastic. Well, Harrisburg, there you have it from Mr. Kalonji Johnson. He is the Policy Director for the Pennsylvania Department of State, and you're here educating our students about the importance of voting and the entire registration process.
Yes.
So on behalf of Harrisburg High School, John Harris campus, I want to say thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. And welcome back as we continue to broadcast from John Harris campus. I'm joined with Ms. Nicolette now, and your role here?
I am the 12th grade counselor.
Awesome. And Mrs. Thomas?
I am the 11th grade Your Government, Your World teacher and 9th grade U.S. History and Civics.
Fantastic. So, ladies, you are educating, equipping, and empowering our students in the voting process. So tell us about today's presentation.
I was really enthusiastic about today's presentation because it builds on topics that we discuss in depth in Your Government, Your World, talking about political participation and how we can make a difference locally as well as globally.
Fantastic. Mrs. Snell, as a 12th grade counselor, how important is it to begin to immerse our students in the very aspect of things that are going to impact their lives once they leave high school?
Our students need to realize that to make changes in society is not just by violence. Their voice will be heard through the voting process, and that's why this event today is so important to me and to the school, that we want to encourage our students that you need to exercise your civic right to vote if you are not satisfied with things in your community. That's how you make the change.
Positive change
Yes.
through your voice, your vote.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Ms. Thomas, you talked about the curriculum that you're teaching, your government,
Your world.
your world. Tell us about that curriculum and how you think our students are embracing the content of that.
Well, what they're doing right now is actually taking an in-depth look at the Constitution, and then they're actually going to compare it to other constitutions from around the world to see what sort of rights and responsibilities there are that are universal throughout modern society. The other thing is that I found that these students are very passionate about particular policies, whether that is drug policy, healthcare policy, even voting rights. So the idea is to take that curriculum, have the kids actually look at those policies, and then propose changes. So not even through voting, but also through other forms of participation, such as writing a petition, writing a letter to a legislator, or even setting up a protest or some sort of assembly. It's important for them to know that they have access to those different things in the toolkit to make their voice heard.
Fantastic. Ms. Snell, today our students had the opportunity to actually fill out a voter registration. What is it that you think that our students took away from that experience of actually filling out their voter registration form?
I think what they took away from this voter registration rally today is that they have a voice. We brought in people from Inspire, from the Department of State, to talk to them about how do you vote and why it is important, particularly considering our history, that we haven't been permitted to vote for years, but now we have people who fought for us to vote. So now you have to, step up and vote. And then we found out today that the largest voting population is the 18 to 19-year-olds. 46 million of our of 18 and 19-year-olds, they vote. So they have a big voice in policy changes in our country.
Ms. Thomas, let's talk about this being a hands-on, tangible learning experience.
I think that having them tangibly fill out that voter registration form made it a little more real for them. I mean, there's the ease of online voting or online registration, but when you actually have to sit down, think about, and fill out the form, I think that's going to encourage them to take that next step of actually getting to the polls.
Well, Harrisburg, there you have it, where we are pairing academic instruction with civic engagement and encouraging, educating, and equipping our students for the voting process. Thank you for joining us.